Okay, so I cannot stress to you enough how important it is to build a system, right? You build systems to protect you from what is going to happen. It's inevitable. It's impossible for you not to have some bad days in business. Let's just call it that, right? But if you have a system in place, it will help you in relation when these bad things happen. So as an example, our business partner and I, we built the business from the ground up, right? Doing billions and billions of dollars every single year in sales. And we ended up getting to a point where I had to sue him, then he countersued, and then his friends countersued for all kinds of frivolous things that were actually lies, to be honest with you. And you can do that, right? That happens in business. And I didn't know what kind of person he was. But anyway, we got past that. And then we get to a point where we say, okay, let's move in another direction, maybe in a better direction. First of all, the first lawsuit happened because I didn't have a system in place. He didn't have a system in place. It was just freaking egos, right? Just all ego. Me, I'm this, I'm that. And it's because we don't have systems in place. Then we get to the second phase where we can possibly move forward in a positive direction. And once we begin to do that, because I didn't have systems in the first place, once we began moving in that direction, it was all related. It was based upon ego and trust. And of course, we had legal documents, but when you have a shady attorney who's creating documents for a shady person, I mean, what do you expect? And so, long story short, after this particular transition, what my business partner did is he literally tried to sabotage the entire business and not just hurt me, but also hurt clients. So there's something called, we have daily ACH files for payment processing. And what these files do is it allows our clients, thousands of our clients, millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, it allows these funds to go into their bank account so they can take care of their staff, for just basic expenses. What my business partner did, former business partner, did is he held those files for 7 days. Now, he can make up any kind of excuse, but we've been getting those same files every single day for the past freaking 5 years. All of a sudden now, he can't find the file. Make matters worse, what he did is, now imagine if you have a business and you have millions of dollars that your clients need, right? That is theirs, and then all of a sudden they don't get it. They're gonna naturally start calling the company. What my ex-business partner did is he actually transferred each and every call to my personal cell phone, right? Trying to sabotage the entire business, causing our clients to leave. Also, what it did though, was it also caused our sales reps to be upset as well. So basically, again, just trying to sabotage the business, but he actually hurt sales reps and he hurt our clients. So he's really trying as much as he can to destroy the business before we can even take off. This has all happened like within the first week or two. And then what we were supposed to do was he was supposed to give us all the information needed to run the business, like the flow of funds and where our clients' funds were. Our clients have been waiting for these funds for freaking sometimes almost a year. And now when it comes time to release the funds back to them, my business partner does not release the funds to them. So as an example, I had a couple really big clients that were friends of mine. And when I say big is relative, right? They may be doing $1 million or $2 per month. That's definitely not our biggest client, but I consider that pretty decent volume. And so one of my friends who had $2 million held, literally $2 million held, it wasn't the company fault. This particular business person just didn't manage the business right at that particular time, right? And so things started to happen. We had to hold the funds. So what happened is in the negotiation process to get those funds released back to him, my business partner had an attorney send my friend a legal letter saying that we'll release $2 million, right? This is very important to understand, saying that we're gonna release $2 million back. And so I think my friend and his attorney signed it. Well, I think the attorney had my friend sign the document. So then $1.5 million was released back to him in 3 $500,000 installments, right? And now here's the interesting thing. The last installment of $500,000 was never released to him. So fast forward a year later, I bump into the guy. He's like, dude, because I'm wondering, like when I see him from time to time, it's just not the same. It's like some kind of animosity there. And instead of him telling me, even though I'm constantly trying to communicate with him, almost just consistently trying to communicate, I'm thinking that the $2 million was given back to him, but it wasn't. So I finally approached him and said, hey, listen, man, it's really strange and weird. What's going on? He says, dude, you're still holding $500K. I'm like, why didn't you say something, right? And so I go back to my former business partner and say, dude, he didn't get his money. He said, yes, he did. Finally, he admitted he didn't get his money. So here's what we found. So he tries to release back to the guy only $290,000 of the $500. Now, he probably wouldn't be able to get $500K back, but maybe something like $400,000 or $420 or $430. So he offers to release $290 back, right? Based on saying the other part was fees. I find out, and I'm like, no way, I don't agree to this, and I don't understand this invoice, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't. And so I begin to go to bat to fight for my friend who had his funds held, and I find out from the bank that it was more than $2 million that was being held. And the original letter that my former business partner sent wasn't even correct. It should have been like $2 million that should have been released back. But to show you how important it is to have systems and how important it is to have everything set up the right way, since my friend wasn't really keeping track of it, people like my business partner were going to take advantage of him and clip him of about $230,000, $240,000. But instead, he was going to clip him of the entire $700 and something thousand, right? And I wish we had the numbers on the screen to show you, because it's extremely important to understand that. And to this day, my friend has not received the $700 and let's say about $20,000 or $30,000 released back to him, because my former business partner is trying to keep it. Now, why is that important to you? It's important to you because if you're on the other side and you're my friend who had his money held, if you had a system in place, you would already know that it's not just $2 million. Let's say it's $2.5 million or something like that, right? Instead of just $2 million, right? It was about maybe, let's say maybe about $2,250,000, right? You would know that. And if you're me, and I was locked out of the system, so I really couldn't keep track of it. But if I was doing it the correct way, and if I had a system in place and not just relying on my business partner, who was unethical, to give me the information, I would have known and I could have guided my friend properly as well. But when the legal documents were going back and forth from my business partner and his attorney to my friend, I wasn't involved in it. And I was kept out of it intentionally by my unethical former business partner. So, moral of the story is, make sure you have systems in place to keep track of things, because to try to do it randomly or on the fly is going to be very difficult. And people like my former business partner who was absolutely unethical, will take advantage of you. And by the time it's time for you to get your funds back, they're going to tell you, well, you're not going to get the whole thing back because of this, and that. And if you don't have actual data to back it up, they will absolutely take advantage of you. And you can try to hire an attorney, but remember, anybody can hire an attorney. Anyone can hire an attorney, even shady people, right? And the court systems are not made for you and I, they're made for attorneys, and attorneys can play all day there. Hope this helps. Make sure you have systems in place.